afternoon, everyone. Welcome to First and Third at 3. We are going to be talking about MarketQuest today. It's not a new topic. We've had the product around for, I want to say about 2 years, but it's always good to refresh it, answer any questions you guys may have, and just give you a few tips and tricks. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. MarketQuest is a product brought to us from the brand. So of course it's found in my CB desk. Again, your tile may be in a different spot than mine, just depending on how you have your platform set up for your apps. You can always type it in the chat box. The search box up here, type MarketQuest and it should load. One thing I do want to point out, once I get my Zoom thing out of the way, is up here where this little question mark is, when you click on that, it brings you into this help center. There's really good FAQs in here about MarketQuest. So it is alphabetical order. So you just go down to see MarketQuest, click view all. And there's a really good FAQ. So if your agents are asking questions, you're not quite sure about the answer, you're not quite sure, where to direct them, it's always a great place to go. Again, that's in that help center option right here. And then again, it's alphabetical order. So you just find the one for MarketQuest. It's a great place to go for other products too. You'll see there's one on Boost, HomeSpotter, Business Advantage. We have information about Exclusive Look, Desk itself. So lots of great things in there. So I always like to point that out because it's kind of hidden a little bit. If you did type MarketQuest into here, you could also find the articles for help. But this way you can get to the entire platform about MarketQuest and get all of the information. Now, some of the verbiage on here may be a little confusing for us as affiliates because MarketQuest was a product only offered to the store-owned Coldwell Banker Realty offices on the front end. But like I mentioned, we've had it now for a few years. Affiliates have every access to it. You'll see some language about version 1 versus version 2. We have the most up-to-date version, which is version 2. And so if there any of that language is in there, it could be a little bit confusing, but that's the difference there. So don't hesitate to go into here, go to the FAQs, go into the training resources. There's really good guides in here. So of course, we'll show you some highlights today, but if you want to dig in further, or if you have any other questions, you can always come here and get more information. So from that tile, when you click on it, it will load you into a second tab. So you'll see Desk stayed open, but MarketQuest is a new tab here. And depending on how many MLSs you have access to is what you may have to pay attention to. A lot of agents only have one MLS, so it's not a big deal, especially as staff. If you have access to more than one MLS, it's going to make a difference right here. So if it doesn't default to the one that you want to show, you can click Change MLS. It'll have the drop down of all the MLSs that you have the ability to run reports from. It should default to the last one opened as long as you check that box. We did have some default issues for a while, so I say it should do it if you check the box, but I can't confirm that it's always going to work right. So from here, you want to scroll down and you see you have all of these options. We have number 1 claims, market position, market trends, market snapshot, and then custom market reports. Custom is just that. You can pretty much do anything you want with it, depending on how the data is wanting to be sliced and diced. So we won't really talk about custom reports for the most part today because there's a lot of customization available in these top 4 options as well. So one small caveat to the number 1 claims, if information isn't coming, if you're getting a notification that says it's not available, or it's coming up blank, that means it's not working. It means that we are not number 1 in either that zip code, market, county, however you do it. So if you click on number 1 claims here, you'll see it will automatically populate based on the last time that you ran these, ran the reports, but you can come over here, you can filter by location, you can filter by the report types, you can filter by transaction size, sales type, whether you want it by units or volume, and then time period, last year, last quarter, year to date, which keep in mind, even though it's March 20th, the way that MLS data works is it's by month. So they have to wrap the month before they allow the data to be released. So even though it says year to date, it really is through the end of February, not up to March 20th. So that's a small little caveat there as well. And then you can choose price ranges. You can view by brand, brokerage, or office. Office is just that, the office in which you sit. Brokerage is a little confusing, and we're actually asking for verification Because in some of our markets, we have Coldwell Banker Sunstar and we have Coldwell Banker Realty. Well, the question is, does brokerage combine those two? I'm sorry, does brand combine those two or not? So we're not quite sure of the answer on that. We're waiting to hear back from them on that. But brokerage would be any of, say, the Sunstar offices. It combines them all. So we're in Northern Great Lakes. If I run it by brokerage, it's going to pull in every office that's in the Northern Great Lakes MLS, Traverse City, Benzie, Kalkaska, Leelanau County, et cetera, et cetera. Office is just the office that you're tied to in the Dash system as your primary office. So that's kind of the differentiation there. And as soon as we get clarification on brand and exactly who that commingles for data, we will let you guys know. Now, over here where it says number one claims, if this comes up with an error, or if it's just completely blank, doesn't necessarily mean it's not working. It could just mean that we're not number one in any of those categories that you have filtered through over here on the side. So if you've gotten a little bit granular and you're not seeing answers, maybe back off your filters, do it a little bit more wide open, and it may then show you that you have number one claims because it's all just dependent on what the category is that you chose. So say, for instance, I pick office and click update, it's going to say no claims found. That's because this particular office that I'm attached to currently isn't number one based on any of these categories. So again, the number one claims isn't maybe the most useful part of MarketQuest, but I did want to explain some of those things because it's a little bit nebulous on how they're getting their data. Market position is just that. It's our data share points, right? So over here again is your MLS that you picked. You can search by county, city, zip code. You can go to your location filters and do it this particular way if you choose. A lot of that and how you run the reports is based on the market. Every market is set up a little bit differently, depending on either historically how reports have been ran, kind of what the MLS mandates, and maybe what the competition mandates. So it could be a little bit different depending on where you sit. Now, if you're new to this tool and you're excited about it, have a conversation with your manager or have a conversation with some of the agents in the office. Ask them what data they want to see. You can come in here, play around with the filters and really dial in on the information that they want to see. So for example, if we just put in Traverse City, the information comes up because it's being fed over from your MLS. So it's going to be how the MLS has all of the data. That's what's coming over into MarketQuest. And then you'll see that it gives you the option over here. It gives you the date range, which I didn't fiddle with. Having a scroll issue. Let me just go back real quick. I may have locked it up. Just give me 1 second. There we go. Now it's going to let me scroll. So you can see last quarter is chosen, but you can do again year to date. We can do last year. You can do price range so if you're looking for a luxury market share, you can do that 500,000, 750,000, whatever it might be. One too many zeros. Click update, and then that's going to give you the information here. Now from here, it's going to default to dollars, but you can toggle over here. So it's actually showing percentage. It does give the name of the other top brokerages that is showing on the report. And if you scroll down, it gives you further data here. It does give you the ability to download marketing assets as well. It'll give you an image if you would like one. It'll give you a graph if you would like one. You can do that by just clicking on social image, or you have the ability to download this as a PDF. So perhaps you're creating a listing presentation out of Moxie Engage. Nope, you would not be doing that in Moxie Engage. You'd be doing it in Moxie Present. So perhaps you're doing a listing presentation in Moxie Present. You want to show how good we are in the market, and you can click export here. You can export that as a PDF. You have the ability to do landscape or portrait. If you're doing it digitally and sending it to your client digitally, you'll want it landscape. If you're going to print it, you have the option of doing it portrait. So depending on how you're using Moxie Present is how you can export this. If you're a staff member doing this for one of the agents in your offices, you can uncheck agent info. I disappeared, right? So this can be used for anybody in your office now, but if an agent's doing it for themselves and they want it branded for themselves, they can do so here. Currently, there's no proxy. So unfortunately, at this time, an ASC can't log into their own setup, proxy as an agent to get their branding, but they do have the ability to remove it should they so choose. And then you can click portrait. You also have the ability to remove the data table if you want. You can have the ability to take off the competition's name. So you'll see here, Real Estate 1, Century 21. If you click Display Competitor, it just says Competitor 1, 2, 3. Now it also removes our name, so be careful with that if you're doing that option there. So lots of different options. Again, you click Export, it'll download it as a PDF. You also have the ability, like I mentioned, to do your social images here. Wide, tall, square, again, just depends on where you're going to be using that asset. This is all found in market positions. So you can see just vast amounts of information is put into very succinct data points very quickly, and then it gives you the marketing piece on the back end. Again, these can be used in Moxie, it can be used in Engage, it can be used in Present. If you're adding it to a campaign, it can be used to print off into a presentation. You can put it on social media, you can put it into emails, you can use it in a lot of different ways. I've even seen it used on postcards. If an agent was doing a mailing, they came in here, got the data, got the graphs, sent it over to the marketing group, and the marketing group included it in their print postcard. So lots of different applications for all of this amazing data. Now, market trends, hopefully that will load. Market trends is going to show you, again, based on the data that you want to see, based on your location, based on your property type, based on your time period, price range, however you want to slice and dice this information, this is going to give you a market trend report. Now, just like before, when you could go from percent or dollars to percent, you have the option to do up and down arrows. So you don't want to share too much data, but you want people to know if the market's up or down. Or you can do percent. So you'll see the average list price November through January was down 2.26%. In February 2023, it's up 3.44%. Or you can do the actual dollar. So you have that option right here from toggling these buttons right here. You can see it gives you the graph. It's going to give you a sales price, list price ratio graph, number of properties sold, absorption rate, a lot of data, right? This is amazing data to use, to share, to be the expert in the market in which you operate. But keep in mind, you have the ability over here to really hone in on the data that you want to share. Then from here, you can download the data. You can do it in Excel or CSV, or you can click Share Report. And that gives you the ability to, sorry, my Zoom thing's in the way. That gives you the ability to export as a PDF. Again, if it's information that you want to use elsewhere, you want to insert it into Moxie Present, attach it to an email, however you want to do it, or you can email it directly from the system. You can add multiple recipients here. The thing that MarketQuest doesn't have is it does not have a CRM aspect to it. So you do have to type in any email address. It doesn't pull over your contacts like Prospect Square or Moxie would, but you do have the ability to email it right from the system. However, you wouldn't necessarily know if it's going to be delivered. You wouldn't necessarily get a bounce back if you use it from the system. So I do recommend downloading it as a PDF, pulling it into Google and attaching it that way. You have a lot more control. You can check your send box to make sure that you did send it and it just think you sent it like I've done before. So you have the ability to do that. Market Snapshot is going to be based again on location. You can do it by county, city, zip code. Let's just do zip code. We did city last time. We'll do my zip code. If you're typing in a zip code and it doesn't pop up, it just means it's not in that MLS. So either there's an error that we have to dig into with the help desk, or you're just picking the wrong MLS perhaps. So that could be a good trigger to know if you're in the right MLS or not. Again, your property types you can choose. You can choose monthly, custom. Again, you can do price range, which is great if you're in global luxury and you're wanting to do some global luxury marketing. And then your market snapshot comes up. Now you see how quickly that information came over. It's pretty amazing. I see these on Facebook a lot, which is fantastic. I love when our agents are using this on Facebook, again, to be the expert in their markets. Again, this is accurate data coming over from the MLS. Now, there's a few small caveats when it comes to that. If you're running MarketQuest reports and you're going to the MLS, it's most likely not going to be 100% accurate. Some of that just has to do with the fact that we all know feeds go wonky from time to time. Some properties just don't feed correctly. But I would like to say that it's probably 95% directionally accurate to what the MLS has. And again, that's some of those feed issues. It could be a status issue. Some MLSs won't feed over things like created sale. So some of those small little caveats, but again, 90 to 95% accuracy on these reports. This particular market snapshot also gives you the ability to edit your data points. So maybe you can say, oh, I don't really like the average sales price. It doesn't speak the story I want to tell. I want to do average list price. So you have the ability to change those data points. Now you can see when I chose average sales price or unselected it, the other options came out. And when you select it, they get grayed out. You can hit one per category, essentially, is what you're doing here. So if there's one you want that's grayed out, uncheck, and it's going to give you the ability to check one you do want. Share a snapshot, just like your other options, you can download it wide, tall, square. Also lets you format it in a postcard format. I mean, how fantastic is that? It's easily done. You can also do it in an email format, but like I mentioned before, some of those things you can't really track it. You don't have as much control over it. So you can go ahead and download it and then upload it into an email or other places like Moxie Present, depending on where you're using it. So again, if you're doing a post on Insta, you're going to want to do it in a square. It's going to give you that formatted perfectly image that will allow you to go ahead and market that on social media. Now you'll see the information comes over for the agent. Obviously it's my account, so it's my information. If this email address is wrong, if that mobile number is wrong, you actually have to go into Dash, or sorry, back up a step, Account Tech, change the data, let it feed over to Dash, and then it will feed over to Desk and all the other products. So if you do see incorrect information, if you're an agent, reach out to your staff member. If you're an ASC that they've been asked to update it, do it from Account Tech, please. It'll feed Dash. Dash will feed all of the brand products here. You do have the ability to, in the upper right corner, to go to your settings, but you'll see there's very few settings that you can actually change because they're all going to be coming over from the Dash feed. You can uncheck it. So maybe the email is wrong. You really want a product quick out of here. Can't really wait for the feed to update it. You can uncheck it so it doesn't show, but you don't have the ability to update that information here. Same with your social media links. This all has to come over in the feed. So you want to give them to your staff member, get them in Account Tech, they'll go over to Dash, then they'll populate the rest of your products. As you can see, our menu option is always over here to the left. To get back to where we started, you can click Dashboard there. You have the Edit Settings Here button as well, but again, it's going to take you to the same place that you got to here from Settings. So let me take a pause and check my chat box. I didn't hear it ding. No questions yet. So again, if you've not been in this product, I highly encourage you just to get in, start running reports. This data, again, is fast. And it's really good data that comes out of our direct feed from our MLSs. And it's formats it directly for you. So it's a PDF, it's a social media post. You're immediately ready to go and start using your data. You don't have to take a raw file, send it to marketing, have them set up the graphs. It's all done for you right here. Now, one other small caveat is in our list of MLSs, you may notice there's a few MLSs missing. Don't hesitate to reach out and ask if your MLS isn't there, but we have vetted out every MLS in which we operate, and some MLSs just will not sign the data feed form to allow MarketQuest to have that MLS's data in order to populate MarketQuest. So feel free to reach out. We can confirm, yep, we've asked them, they've denied it, or where we may be in the process, but there are a few MLSs in our company that we operate that aren't in MarketQuest. Let me check the chat. Sure, Christine. So the question was, in the market position square, my screen had the social image options at the bottom, and she wasn't sure if hers had that. So let me go ahead and go back into that. I'm sorry, not market trends. Was that the question? Let me double check. So it's actually, well, no, I'm not seeing it either. Let me actually run a new report here, Christine, before I pull up a zip code. We'll click update. Oh, now it's not there. But you're not crazy because I saw it too. It had it right there at the bottom. Let's see. Let me toggle back here. Huh. I'll have to dig into that more because it sure had them on my screen before. I don't believe it was, no, it was. So great question. It's now missing from mine as well. So I will dig in and get an answer for that. And then I'll get that back out to you guys. Let me just double check this real quick. And that's the image there. Yeah, so I did see it before myself and now I'm not seeing it. But again, it was a little glitchy earlier when I was on that tab, so that very well may be why. Oh, and it added it to you when you added a county. Let's try that. Let's go ahead and do a county. We're going to Travers. Update. Give it a second to load. Oh, I'm in the wrong one again. I'm in position. Oh, mine are still gone. Well, so it's apparently a little glitchy when it comes to social media posts, but I will dig into that, but it's good to know that yours came back. So we'll have to keep playing with it and see what may be the difference there. But great point. Any other questions today on MarketQuest? So quickly to recap, while we wait to see, tile and desk is found here. To get to the FAQ, you go into the question mark in the upper right corner, scroll to the M's, find MarketQuest, click view all, FAQs here, training resources here. It tells you how to get support too as well, but you can always just do a help desk ticket with help@coldwellbanker.com. Once MarketQuest loads, you have the ability to do number one claims, market position, market trends, or market snapshot. So again, I highly encourage you to use the product. A lot of agents don't know about it yet, and they're quite shocked when you actually show them the final product. So I highly recommend finding one, maybe printing it out, sharing it at your next sales meeting, maybe send it to them in an email, say, hey, you know, can you guess how I got this information? Come see me and I'll show you. But let's get the word out. Again, it's an amazing product brought to us from our brand. It's tied to our local data via our MLS, and I highly encourage all of you to use it. Thanks so much for your time today, guys. I appreciate it. Bye now.